Hey everybody, my name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, well under 20. In fact, my carbs are under 3 total today. I am not a net carber, and I don't think I ever will be. I just listened to a Dr. Westman and another person do a net versus total carbs. And then there was a person who commented on my YouTube channel about in Australia, they only do net carbs on the labels. Ooh, well, that is, and Gary Fettke and his wife, they talk a lot about the food issues in Australia. And I guess that could be part of it. You know, they just want us fat and sickly, don't they? Anyway, that's not my topic, fat and sickly. We know that, especially if we've come here and we've become healthy instead of sickly with our food choices. Well, all is well here on Cape Cod, and so this is just another. It's just another cup of coffee type thing. This says no matter what club on it. I think I only have one of these left, but that's one of my favorites. I do have mugs left. You can always contact me, parkersposey28@gmail.com. And I can set you up. Sure, I can. Anyway, I see that it's March, and this is that time of year when we're doing more than thinking about gardening. We're thinking about, geez, should we get out there and get that walk we've been talking about? And should we do something about our food choices? Is it a tweakable time in your life? I find that I have an ample serving, which is just about enough of a veg or a salad. I love the Olivia's baby butter lettuce. Very hard to find. When I do, I buy it and savor every bite. And so I try to keep my veggies low. Hence, my carbs are at 2.7, and that seems to suit me just fine. But as far as the tweaking goes, it is an ongoing thing. I don't want to see you get ahead of yourself with your keto food plan. This is not a sprint. There's no winners at the end. You won't find me giving you a diet bet, challenge where you put in the money to lose the weight by a certain time. I've already done that crazy making thing in my life, and I bet maybe you have too. And enough of this competition. You are in it for you, just for you. You are N equals 1, and that works for you and your food program. And so you mosey along like a turtle. Turtles mosey, don't they? You mosey along and you find what works for you and you keep it that way. And then you see what might not work for you and you go about making little small changes that can make all the difference in your keto food plan. Some people even do more carnivore than keto. And, I do say that I'm more carnivish. I mean, obviously, with 2.7 total carbs, it's a slow news day for having way too many. Some people go all the way up to the 20, and they take every single one of them, thank you very much, and they enjoy them, and they're still successful with their weight loss. I just had my annual, so I had all my labs and everything else, and with the lipid work, of course, I was expecting the lecture. So if you think you have high cholesterol and you're nervous, my total cholesterol, which means nothing to me, I'm just telling you it, 455, okay? My A1C was 5.1. My ratio is like less than 2.7 or something like that. I mean, all the markers look great. I'm at a weight that I haven't weighed since I was in the 3rd grade, because once I hit the 4th grade and I became, the hormones started flowing and I began my period and all those sort of things, it was game over. I just piled it on. Of course, I wasn't paying any attention at that point. I was a full-blown sugar addict. I was babysitting for people, and the little playground was next to the candy store. Oh yeah, well that's where I took my money from babysitting, and I bought all this food. And while they're doing all the things that they're doing at the playground, I'm like, yeah, I was a sugar addict out of the gate. I was not into drinking my sugar. It was mostly eating my sugar. And, I would do very hideous things like eating a box of cake mix, the batter, eating a box of brownie batter, eating, that used to be, you didn't have cans of frosting back when I was that age. You would add water and, of course, some margarine to it because, you needed to be heart healthy. And I did all those things. And it didn't change. It was funny. At one point in my alcoholic journey, I was drinking all the sweet drinks. So I was getting my sugar and my alcohol all in a little glass with ice or coffee added to it. And yeah, I was a mess for many, many years. I'm lucky I'm not diabetic. I was adopted, so I don't know what the history is as far as like diabetes or heart or any of the other organs or my brain. So I'm glad I found keto when I did. And I only found it, 5 or so years ago. I began low carb, high fat after Weight Watchers. Got that going again. After Weight Watchers, I went to, I converted over to low carb, high fat. So I was still having things like potatoes, basically, sometimes spaghetti squash. I did like the starchy carbs just as a chance to have something else besides just the non-starchy veggies and salads and things. And now I'm keto, and as you can see, it's tight. It's very, very tight. I keep my, I try to keep my proteins, she said before she showed you what she's having to eat for the day. I try to keep my proteins and fats at 80 for both. It just works. And then, as you can see, my carbs are low. And I can seem to fit in enough on my OMAD. I eat 1 meal a day. And if you're at 2 meals a day and don't think you could ever do it, I was there too. I didn't think I could ever. 1 meal a day? Are you kidding me? Well, I have 3 cups of coffee with 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in it. Heavy cream. I don't even think it says whipping on the box. And carton. And then I have my OMAD, and usually it's between 2:30 and 3:30 in the afternoon. I work overnight, so I go to bed at 4:30 and get up at 10:30. And so one of those cups of coffee happens then. And then the next one is after I get done with work at 8. And then the next one is like at 11 in the morning. And those 3 cups of coffee, which I don't believe spikes my blood sugar or insulin, keep me going. Now I'm adapted to it. And it's just like when you begin to do keto, you adapt to no grains and no sugar. And that's huge, huge. You can still be patting yourself on the back for that. That's a big deal. And then I moved on to, keeping the carbs really low. At one point, I went from 20 to 15, then I went to 10. Sometimes I am at 10. But, what I like to do Monday through Friday when I have my salad is keep my carbs under 5 total. And then, as I said, my fats and my protein at about 80. And I just posted recently the Dr. Gabrielle Lyon video where she talks about women aging and needing more protein. And at one point she said something about like, you need the protein for your teeth. And it's like, yeah, if I didn't have any teeth, I wouldn't be chewing on my delicious steak. Well, I'm going to make sure I get enough protein. So I enjoy my food plan. It has changed over the years that I've been doing this. I'm very happy with my weight being where it is. I weigh myself 1 time a month. It keeps the insanity, the crazies, the scale crazies at bay. Was that easy to do? Well, I mean, you think of all the things that you kind of give up along the way and you benefit from them, but it doesn't seem so at first, does it? It seems like, now you want me to give up the scale and weigh myself once a month? Do you ever stop pushing? Well, no, I guess I don't. Or strongly suggesting, as we say. So today I am having These are my macros. I use Chronometer. I have the Gold program. It's $35 a year, which is like 75 cents a week. And as you can see, my calories are less than 1,200. My protein is 80 grams. My carbs total are 2.7. And my fats are 93. And I don't really mind the fats being at 93. I'm having beef back ribs. They're small, so I guess they're baby. And I got them at Whole Foods, so they have that animal welfare rating thing. And I've already cooked them in my Martha Stewart enameled crock pot thing in the oven. I like that better than the crock pot, and it's easier to clean too. So I first browned them on top of the stove and then slow roasted them at like 200 degrees for 4 hours. That fall off the bone point. I will saute them today in some butter, some Amish butter on top of the stove, and I will also have my 2 Pete and Jerry jumbo eggs softly fried to accompany the ribs. It's a tasty meal for me. And then I'm having 80 grams of the Olivia's organic baby butter lettuce, 20 grams of macadamia nut oil, 5 grams of Fourth and Heart ghee melted into that. I put that little teacup I have on top of the toaster oven, and so the ghee melts with the macadamia nut oil. And I'm also having 10 grams of this $24 a pound blue cheese that I got at Whole Foods. It's a nice mild blue cheese, and it's just enough. You know, when I have the urge for something crumbly on my salad like feta or blue cheese, it passes after a week or so. So I didn't need to buy any honking piece. The slice that the lady was nice enough to give me was, you know, it was, I think it's 0.04 tar, whatever that is, T-A-R-E. But anyway, it was under $4 a pound. And so I'll have that until it's gone. And then that takes care of that. I got a hankering for some blue cheese. And so, yes, we mosey along like turtles. We're happy for how it all goes for us. We're not in competition with anybody. We enjoy each day. Enjoy each day of your food. I love my foods. I look forward to them. I'm not jonesing for them. I'm a clock watcher because I produce the meal for both Greg and me. You know, so I do watch the clock in that sense. But if I was watching the clock because I thought I was hungry, and I'm really not yet because I had a nice OMAD with plenty of fats the day before, so the next day leads into it, and protein. And so I've found whatever formula and recipe kind of works for me. It's the 2 eggs, they're jumbo, Pete and Jerry. Then there's the portion of the protein, which is usually beef, sometimes pork, sometimes lamb, and then my salad. And that just continues to work. I don't get bored because my foods are so savory. The meats are so wonderful. And yeah, so I'm not getting bored. And I like that. On Saturdays, I always have a keto pizza, the almond flour one. I know people always suggest the chicken or the cauliflower crusts. I just do the almond flour one. I'm using just about half of what it calls for almond flour. With those silly little oxalates, Mike. Yeah. And I have that, and that really holds me. That keeps me. I have said this time and time again. From Weight Watchers on, whatever version of pizza I was having on Weight Watchers, I was having, I don't know, Hungry Girl. No, not Hungry Girl. Weight Watcher Girl 1 always recommended this pizza. And I got the organic gluten-free one. And so from that on, keeping me with my pizza, now it's the almond flour one. And it just takes care of any craving or anything, because, you know, you've got to admit there's a lot of those sort of ads on TV, and they do pull me. And so I'm glad that either I'm having it that day, I'm going to have it on Saturday, or I just had it on Saturday. And that sort of thing just kind of keeps me sane. Look out for your seed oils, canola, soybean, vegetable. Those sort of things aren't good for you, so don't buy bottled dressing. You want to stay away from that. You want to keep your lettuce leaves organic if you can, just because it's a small investment in yourself that could pay off. And aim for grass-fed when you can. U.S. Wellness is really pretty reasonable. It's an online meat company out of Missouri. We had the French ribeye the other night on the Big Green Egg. You may have seen the little video. I did the video of it on the plate and the video of it with Greg cooking on the Big Green Egg. It was so good. And so I'm going to be ordering some ribeyes and 2 more of those. And we'll have those like once or twice a month, and then regular store-bought the other times. And it all works. You know, it all works. We do what we can. Some of us have, you know, tighter food budgets than others. And so we just try to keep it as clean as we can. And so I don't have diet sodas. I don't have artificial sweeteners. I do have an alternative sugar, which is called Xyla, Xyla. And there are a number of alternate sugars that you can have that might work for you that won't spike blood sugar or insulin. And that's, I have that in my coffee. That quells any sugar craving. I don't have sugar cravings. I do look forward to the pizza, and I do look forward to my coffee with the alternative sugar. It just works. I tried going without the sugar, didn't work. And so I found my formula, and it works. My weight hasn't changed because I have those things. And so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I hope you do too. And so now here's the asterisk. PayPal contributions are more than welcome here. It just keeps me going and motivated, as well as, you know, having to not get a day job. I don't want a day job. And so you would go to About on my YouTube cover page and click the About, and you will see the PayPal icon. And so thank you very much. If you do contribute, I really welcome it. And so I do have those mugs for sale. You can email me at any time. I'm reconfiguring my coaching plan. So that's why I'm not talking about it right now, because I'm going to do something a little bit more giving. It's going to be more of a coaching thing done on a contribution basis. So if you have like a couple of questions, you feel I've done a good job, you can contribute, that sort of thing, as opposed to the coaching business. And we'll see how that all goes. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you here. You'll never know how much I appreciate you. This is a channel that focuses on the older metabolism. Young people are definitely welcome here. If you can keep your metabolism nice and before you get to be older, like a lot of us here in our 60s, that's great. Why not? You know, I eat wholesome, simple food. I don't get fancy Nancy. I don't try to keto-fy things except the pizza, and it just works for me. And men are welcome too. And on Fridays, I do Friday with a Friend, and that means I'm interviewing somebody that is here, that comments on my channel and is not camera shy. And so it's just nice to get to know the person behind the name on the YouTube commenting section. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time here on Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20, way under 20 today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.